Hello, my wonderful students. Let's talk about this week. There are many students who have not yet completed their stories and many students who have not yet completed their practice video. So the first thing we need to do this week, today on Monday, I need you to complete my story, draft 1. You can see that here. If you click on the link, you can see in Google Classroom the task. Make sure that you click turn in when you finish so that Mrs. Basili can see and check your work. The next thing you have to do is to complete your practice video. When you complete your video, you can post your link in Google Classroom, or you can email me or text me the link. In order to create your practice video, you'll need these two resources. You'll need how to create your own video, and Mrs. Basili created a video. And then you will need my presentation, how to create your video. If you have more questions, there are some students who did finish their practice video, and maybe you can ask them for help. Let's take a look at the week. So, today is Monday. What I'd like you to do, let's zoom in. Come on, Mrs. Basili, zoom in. Yeah. Ooh, bing bong. So, complete the story and complete the practice video. That is many of my students. If you have completed your story and you have completed your practice video, please rewrite your story in complete sentences. Use Mrs. Basili's sentence frames to help. I will explain in one moment. On Tuesday, you will make a list of objects you need to create the setting. Email this list to Mrs. Basili, and then go and gather the objects or create the objects. On Wednesday, Basili, come on. Let's just do regular times. Okay. No more. Okay. On Wednesday, you will make a list of objects needed to create the push factors scene. Again, you email them to Mrs. Basili, and then you gather and create the objects. On Thursday, you will create the next scene, which is called pull factors. And on Friday, you will make a list of the objects you need to create the journey scene. You will email this list to Mrs. Basili, and then you will gather and create the objects. On Saturday and Sunday, you will make a list of objects you need to create the arrival and the hope scenes, and you will also gather your objects. Now let me explain. I will show you the My Story task in Google Classroom. So when I ask you to rewrite your sentences, your scenes in complete sentences, I suggest that you start like this. In the setting, it says the task is describe the living situation in your home country. So what you should write is the living situation in my home country was, and then you finish describing the living situation. If you already have a sentence, you can leave it, but I suggest you use my sentence starter to write the complete sentence. When I talk about the push factors scene, you should start the sentence with, some things that pushed me to leave my home were, you can say things like violence, poverty, bad education, my parents, my family, whatever they were, please write them in a complete sentence here. Pull factors, some things that pulled me to the United States were. So what about the United States was so good that you came to the United States? When I talk about the journey scene, you should start your sentence with, During my journey to the USA, I had difficult moments and moments of hope. Continue with your sentence about how long did it take, what difficulties you experienced, and what moments of hope that you experienced. The arrival scene. When I first arrived in the USA, my thoughts and feelings were, so how did you feel? What were your first thoughts and feelings? This sentence starter will help you create a complete sentence. The final scene, hopes. Now that I am here in the United States, some of my hopes are, and you can please list your hopes. Or if you already have a sentence that you are happy with, you can leave it and you do not have to take the suggestion. Okay, so I just explained to remind you, I just explained Monday, April 27th, how to rewrite your story in complete sentences. Okay? So for students who have not completed their story or practice video, you have some work to do. I suggest that when you write your story, you simply use the sentence starters that Mrs. Basili wrote and finish your story that way. Okay. Now, let me explain Tuesday again, and really the rest of the week. On Tuesday, I ask you to make a list of objects needed to create the setting. So, and you will email this to Mrs. Basili, and then you will actually go and create the objects. All right. So in my story, I go to setting. This is my first scene. I'm going to highlight it because, oh no. I'm going to, where is it? Paint. I'm going to paint it. I'm going to paint it, and I like pink. Pink. Yeah. Okay. So if I write the living situation in my home country was difficult, I lived in one room with my whole family. There was not enough food and poor education. So you are describing the living situation in your home country. I suggest that you can draw a picture of the one room that your family lived in, or the education, or a symbol for not enough food, or whatever the setting is in your home country. I might need objects like a world map where I can show my home country is here, and in my home country, you can find an object that's for food, an object for education, an object for your living. Okay, so you need to find objects that you can use in your video. I'm going to stop there because it is very similar for the other scenes. The push factors, same thing. Some things that pushed me to leave my home were, we'll say, violence. Okay? So maybe I draw a picture of me, and then I draw a picture of someone else, and in my video, I can make them move to show violence. Okay? So when we're thinking of a list, we're thinking of things that we will use in our video to show the scene, the setting, the push factors, or whichever scene it is. Please come to my Zoom classes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m., and I will explain it one by one. Have a wonderful day. See you soon. Bye.